Okay. ATP molecules produced respectively by NADH2 and FADH2 during electron transport are. Now, during electron transport, NADH is used to produce 3 ATPs and FADH2 is used to produce 2 ATPs. Okay, so it means in electron transport chain, each molecule of NADH produces 3 ATPs and each molecule of FADH2 produces 2 ATPs. Single turn of citric acid cycle yields. Now here the answer is at one point one FADH2 is produced. Okay, so it's about single turn. Okay, so one FADH2 and 3 NADH2 and 1 GTP. What is common to aerobic and anaerobic respiration? Now glycolysis is common for both aerobic as well as anaerobic respiration. So it occurs in both aerobic as well as anaerobic organisms or processes. Okay, so glycolysis is common. TCA cycle occurs only in aerobic respiration. Alcohol formation occurs in anaerobic respiration, but glycolysis is common to both aerobic as well as anaerobic respiration. In the electron transport system present in the inner mitochondrial membrane, complexes 1 and 4 are. Now, complex 1 is NADH dehydrogenase, and complex 4 is cytochrome oxidase complex. Now, this is complex number 1, this is complex number 4. ATP synthase is complex number 5. FADH2 is complex number 2. So here answer is NADH dehydrogenase and cytochrome oxidase. Complex 1 NADH dehydrogenase, complex 4 cytochrome oxidase complex. Which one of the following is complex 5 of the electron transport chain? Now remember that complex 5 is nothing but ATP synthase. Okay, which synthesizes ATP when the hydrogen ions or the protons they pass through this enzyme, okay, which is located on the inner membrane. ATP is synthesized from ADP. So you already know chemiosmosis. So in chemiosmosis, hydrogen ions which are accumulated in the intermembrane space, they pass through complex number 5, that is ATP synthase. And when they pass through the ATP synthase, ATP is synthesized from ADP. RQ in anaerobic respiration is respiratory quotient is nothing but it is the ratio of volume of carbon dioxide evolved to volume of oxygen consumed. In anaerobic respiration, we have seen in case of alcoholic fermentation, there carbon dioxide, one molecule of carbon dioxide is produced when pyruvate is converted into acetaldehyde. So carbon dioxide is produced there, but no oxygen is consumed. No oxygen is consumed. So it is 1 by 0. So that is definitely more than 1. So more than 1 is the answer, or infinity you can say. How many ATP molecules could maximally be generated from one molecule of glucose if the complete oxidation of 1 mole of glucose to carbon dioxide and water yields 686 kilocalories, and the useful chemical energy available in the high energy phosphate bond of 1 mole of ATP is 12 kilocalories. So it is a hypothetical question actually. They are given that 1 mole of glucose produces 686 kilocalories. It means how many ATPs do 1 mole of one how many ATPs does 1 mole of glucose produce? Okay, so total 686 kilocalories there, and 1 ATP can yield 12 kilocalories. So you just have to divide 686 by 12, you will get 57. 57 ATPs are produced because each ATP can yield 12 kilocalories, and total 686 kilocalories are produced from 1 mole of glucose. So here answer is 57. During which stage is the complete oxidation of glucose or the greatest number of ATP molecules are formed from ADP? Means in which of the following processes highest number of ATPs are produced? So you already know that electron transport chain, it produces 34 ATPs. It produces 34 ATPs. So highest number of ATP or maximum of ATP molecules are produced in electron transport chain. Glycolysis produces 2 ATPs net. So that is the net value, 2 ATPs. 4 ATPs are produced actually, of which 2 are utilized. In Krebs cycle also, 2 GT molecules are produced, which are equivalent to 2 ATP molecules. Chemiosmotic theory of ATP synthesis in the chloroplast and mitochondria is based on. Now, this is based on the proton gradient. So, in case of mitochondria, protons they get accumulated in the intermembranal space. Intermembranal space. So, their concentration in the intermembranal space becomes high. Okay. So, what they do is they try to diffuse into the matrix through through ATP synthetase, or you can say complex 5 of electron transport chain, which is present on the inner membrane. And when these protons they try to pass through the ATP synthase enzyme, then ATP is produced from the ADP. So here the answer is proton gradient. Link between glycolysis, Krebs cycle, beta oxidation of fatty acid, or carbohydrate and fat metabolism is. Now this question is repeated actually. So they are asking which is common, okay, which is the link that connects these different types of metabolism of carbohydrates, proteins, and lipids. So here the answer is acetyl CoA. As you already seen, the fatty acids are they can be directly converted into acetyl CoA in beta oxidation. Okay, and glycerol is converted into pyruvic acid. Pyruvic acid is again converted into acetyl CoA, and similarly, you have seen in case of amino acids. So amino acids are first converted into pyruvic acid. Pyruvic acid is again converted into acetyl CoA. So acetyl CoA connects all these different metabolisms. So acetyl CoA is the link between glycolysis, Krebs cycle, and beta oxidation of fatty acids, and also carbohydrate and fat metabolism. This we already discussed in amphibollic pathway. In cellular respiration, the final acceptor of molecule of proton is. Now here you have to remember the final proton acceptor or the final electron acceptor, both the answer is oxygen. So in electron transport chain, the electrons which are released from cytochrome A1 complex. Okay, so they are accepted by oxygen, and also the protons are also accepted by oxygen to produce water. So here the final electron acceptor or even proton acceptor is nothing but oxygen. Now remaining questions we shall discuss in group. Thank you.